afternoon. How we doing? What?
Oh, wait. All right. Did you want?
No.
Sorry, I'm messing this up already. Greg Minuski, last year didn't get the results you guys wanted, obviously. What was it in your discussions with him, in the things he presented to you that led you to believe that he's got the right plan to turn this thing around?
I think I wanted a consistent approach on defense. I felt like from a youth standpoint, we had a lot of good things going defensively, especially with the defensive line, outside linebackers, interior linebackers, corner safeties. Just give them a few more pieces to work with. And adding Landon Collins has helped quite a bit. Get another first-round draft pick like Montez Sweat will help. Cole Holcomb will help out a lot. Give him some more bullets in his gun, and I think he's going to be just fine.
Was there any instruction you gave to him as to how you'd like him to approach?
You know, I think the big thing is, as a teacher and as a coordinator, we have to make sure everybody's on the same page. It's all about communication on defense. I think we have enough firepower talent-wise to hold our own and be a hell of a defense. Now it's about communication and handling all the things that offenses are doing nowadays with the RPOs, the empties, the motions, and all the jet sweeps and all the stuff. We just got to be sound in our communication. That's something we have to really work through this training camp.
Jay, through OTAs and minicamp, was there a skill that Haskins showed that surprised you or that stood out over? What does he do well?
I think the one thing that you can't gauge, and it's still early, but is the poise factor. And I think he's got great poise for a young player. And you watch him in college, and he had great poise. I mean, he played at Ohio State, and they had some big-time games there. And the poise that he displayed in the pocket carried over to the OTAs. People are around him. I know he knew he wasn't getting hit, but still the ability to move his feet in the pocket, keep his eyes downfield, and make plays outside the pocket with his legs was very exciting. And I think he's just got a great demeanor about himself. I don't think he lets one play affect his next play, which is very, very important for a quarterback in the National Football League.
Coach, going back to the defense for a moment, you have some things to work through on offense, it looks like, this year early. Is it incumbent upon the defense to hold things together early until your offense catches up?
I think it's important for our defense to hold it down for 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 weeks. We have to be a great defense for sure. I think some of the great teams that have won Super Bowls have always been able to stand and lean on their defense, and that's what we're trying to get to here. Offensively, we have to make sure we play smart. When we were 6-3, we were playing good defense, and we were not turning the ball over, and we were playing field position. And we weren't winning pretty, but we were winning games. And that recipe can hold true for a very long time if we're playing great defense, and we expect our defense to do that.
Jay, usually being an undrafted rookie and then being injured and missing an entire season kind of spells doom for a guy. Why is Cam Sims the exception to that?
Well, we had high hopes for him coming out of training camp. He's big, strong, physical, plays with great motor, passion, and unfortunately had an injury after one play, I think, in the game. So getting him healthy, watching him work to get himself ready for this time, this opportunity again, I think he's going to take advantage of it. So he's got a skill set that coaches look for: height, weight, speed, toughness. He's got them all. So we'll see how he does. He's got great competition in that room.
Jay, understanding guys like Darius have no limitations, will there still be kind of maintenance programs for them in place? The guys coming off injury, Darius, Jordan, maybe a guy like Robert Davis specifically?
Yeah, there's a fine line between babying them and maintenance, and I think we have to keep our eye on the difference, and I think we got to get him going. He needs the work. I mean, he only got, training camp, the off-season program, and about 2 weeks of preseason games last year, so he needs the work. He needs the looks. He needs to see the runs, his footwork, his fundamentals, his pass protections, all that. But we do have to keep an eye on him, and he's got to be honest with us and how he's feeling. So I think it works hand in hand. The player has to keep in close contact with the trainer and the coaches, and we have to keep close contact with them.
And for Darius specifically, being that young guy, I'm guessing that applies to preseason games as well. You'd like to see him play in those?
Yeah, I think we have to. We have pretty good running back competition. What Samaje did in the offseason program was very impressive in the way he's grown his body and gotten stronger and stronger and faster, and he's got a better grasp of the offense as well. I mean, it's not like he's a 10-year veteran now. He just hadn't played a whole lot either, but he's getting a better feel for it too. And obviously having Adrian and Byron Marshall, Chris Thompson, and we had a couple other guys that I'm excited to watch.
Jay, how hard will it be when you have three quarterbacks trying to decide who's coming out there? Will it be for you to decide to give the right number of reps to make that decision?
Yeah, I think we just have to play it out. I think we just have to be aware of making sure people get challenged in critical situations, as well as first, second down, throwing a a bootleg. Got to make sure we push the pocket a little bit and get him some drops and some throws against some pass rush and some different looks. So it'll be a good challenge for us. I think obviously that's the number one challenge that we have as a staff going into this season, is to make sure we get those guys the reps and give them an ample opportunity to succeed and show that they're the starter.
Does it impact how you maybe play out even in the preseason games compared to what you've done in the past?
Yeah, that's something we haven't talked about yet. We're just first day of training camp. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to monitor the reps closely. It could be one day a couple guys get the majority, and one guy may not get many that day. It could flip the next day. So we just have to make sure that we keep a close tab on it, make sure everybody's getting a fair shake.
We see Montez Sweat. He has the size, the numbers. What else did you like about him, and you're hoping he will actually contribute out there on the field?
Well, I like the way he has taken on to coaching. Chad Grimm's done a great job with him so far, and I think he's picked up the scheme pretty well so far. There's a lot for him to learn and adjust to, but there's certain things you can't coach, and that's his height, his speed, his length, and his ability to find the football and run to it. Very exciting. So I think he's got a great future here without a doubt. We wouldn't have traded for him in the first round if we didn't think so. And he's shown us why we did what we did to get him.
Jay, going back to Darius, can you just specify a little bit how you guys kind of get him back to where he was last year when he was playing so well here at camp? And is the goal kind of just to get him back there, or are you still kind of even pushing forward through that?
Yeah, our goal is to, he only had, I think, 10 carries in the preseason, so we don't know who he was. We knew that he had a great college career at LSU, and his sophomore year was incredible. His junior year, he still had over 1,000 yards, and in training camp, I think the one thing that he showed us that we didn't really know about at LSU is his ability to catch the ball, and that's something we're going to continue to work on and see if this is something we can put a role in for him out of the backfield as well, similar to Chris. So our goal is to get him ready for week 1, and then his job is to make sure his body's right, and trainer's job and his strength and conditioning coaches, that's their job. And but I've seen no reason to believe that he won't get to where he was as a sophomore in college.
Jay, have you talked at all to Trent, and since we last saw you, is there any update?
There's no update on Trent.
How about with Eric Flowers? Does this change the plan to play him at guard? You have to use him at tackle now?
Yeah, well, like I said before, we got Eric Flowers to be an offensive lineman, and if everything went perfectly, chance we moved into guard. If everything doesn't work out, then the great thing about Eric is he's played both right tackle and left tackle. So odds are we'll probably start him out at tackle in training camp here. You get Wes Martin and some of these other guys some reps at guard, Zach. So it's a good opportunity for those other guys and a great opportunity for Eric to get back out there at tackle because, you can never have too many tackles anyway.
Just with Darius, obviously Adrian did his good job last year, but what did you guys miss with him on the sideline? Like, is there anything that you're looking forward to him coming back and providing that skill set?
Darius got great energy for sure. He's always bouncing around. Love his energy, passion for the game. We were excited about that last year. It got cut short, but I think he's been great as far as rehab is concerned. We're hoping other guys take suit. Cam Sims was great in rehab, and a lot of guys have done that. We're hoping Reuben Foster is great in the rehab process and can still continue to be a part of this football team. Alex Smith. So, anytime you lose a player, their passion or energy for the game, it hurts a little bit, but we're also excited to see them come back and watch what they can do based on all the hard work they put in to get to where they need to be.
Coach, how important it is to keep Jordan Reed healthy during this training camp?
Well, that would be very important. I think Jordan is very, very good. And, I think, these guys need to work, and you got to keep them healthy. But they still have to work on their cutoff blocks on weak side, inside zone. They got to work on their base blocks on the runs right at them. They got to work on their reach blocks while they're working on their pass routes, reading man and zone, and separating and catching the ball in traffic. So this is something tight ends have to do. It's one of the toughest positions in sports other than the quarterback, I think, because you got to be part of the running game big time. You got to be part of the passing game. You got to be part of the audibles, and you still have to be able to hear the snap count on the road when you're far away. So it's a tough position to play, and they need to work. So Vernon, Jordan, very, very important to this team.
Jay, in the offseason, Doug said that of the groups that you guys have, he would probably say the defensive line is probably the team's strength. If there was one group that you would say you want to see step up in training camp, which group would it be, if one?
What was our strength?
He said defensive line, your front.
Defensive line? Oh. Well, I think, obviously finding the continuity offensive line-wise is very important. I've always believed in pro sports is about getting after the quarterback, protecting your quarterback, being able to establish the line of scrimmage and create a new line of scrimmage if you're on defense. So I think offensive line is what we're really looking at right now. Everywhere we're looking at everybody, but we need offensive line to step up and find the right guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.